expecting kind of a crushing scoreline here for Seven. But let's see, Sinister can be quite slow. We're jumping in the game right now. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm watching GEKKO off the spawn. Gonna see quickly Seven take away that mega health, pick up the red, drop down for the lightning gun, and DDK, I just want to say that's all Seven needs, the lightning gun, but we'll see. Good early railgun here from GEKKO.
That's right, we saw a lightning gun that almost looked the best in the world from him previously. So here we are, GEKKO picking up that yellow, kind of maybe missing a chance for a rail shot, but it's all right. Seven though gets in his face, and there is the LG, and 47% to start with, so you know about as average, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, GEKKO didn't have anything. He didn't get any of the yellows, and I guess really tough start for him, and it's going to be really tough moving forward because Seven has 200 stack. There's a decent separation between the items. And I mean, if GEKKO wants to go for any of them, he's always going to be wary that Seven's moving through. And you can hear him just steal away the red armor in a second. And what can GEKKO do? I don't know. He doesn't even have the railgun to hit distance shots. No, he does.
And this is a very dangerous start indeed because Seven probably has the better, well, he should have the better execution. Great rail around the corner there. And he's got the better stack. He's got a very, very good sense for control and items. That's what we really saw last time, as well as the cutting LG. And there you go. He's not going to miss a beat on that item. And you know, GEKKO was making a good attempt at a play there. He was saying, all right, let's look at when the mega spawns. I know exactly what it's going to be. So let's try to make that, you know, that play we saw in the previous match from Geenan, where you just run on it, you jump on it. That's a great way to get back. But Seven, his timing is just too good right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's even leaving red armors up to try and chase for the frag off the spawn. He's very confident Seven is here at the moment. And there should be another one there. The teleport escape will come out. He'd even take the bounce back here if Seven wanted to. But I guess he want to play a little bit more calmly to open up the game. But I'm sure we'll see him take those risks later on if he can manage to extend the lead. We've got Mega coming up now. It's going to go to him. GEKKO again just has to find the railgun shots. But again, I just expect a railgun coming out from Seven every time. It's going to be an exchange, if anything. That's not what GEKKO needs. He needs free damage. But again, just got a good cycle going on here, Seven. And I mean, he can just charge through if he really wants to.
And here we go. He's going to sweep on through the top level. Perfect timing, picking up that yellow as it spawns up onto that red armor. The cycle is very beautiful. And this is really problematic if someone gets control very soon, but you know, very soon off the beginning of the match. The items line up very well for you. You can really easily cycle them. And that's what we're seeing because it looks effortless from Seven. Because it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally like 6 or 7 seconds between every item, and Seven knows exactly where to go. We talk about this a lot with dual players. Some players just like to cycle the items. Some people do them too much and don't actually look for the frags. But even though Seven isn't always pushing through, wow, nice railgun. But even though he isn't always pushing through, for the frags he's dealing so much damage that he's just going to eventually pick one up. It's like, it's no big deal here at the moment here for Seven. He's got it on full lockdown.
Yeah, it seems very, very simple for him. And again, it really is that simple. And this is, again, the danger. We've talked about it before as well. You have to really try not to risk giving away control right at the start of the game before any of the items can really desync or you know, well, before I make that point, we have a steal from GEKKO, as he does manage to make the play there, but he should go down here. Still a great advantage on that stack. Seven managing to pick off the frag. But just to finish the point, you can pretty much presume when all the items will spawn without even having seen or taken them right in the first minute of the game, or even the second minute. So that's why it's important not to give it away.
Exactly. I mean, GEKKO has managed to give himself a small opportunity, but Seven just, I mean, again, even though Seven isn't playing defensive, you can just see how possible it is on this map. Seven's just able to run away from GEKKO to find the items he needs before he actually comes back in and commits damage. And again, already turning it around, 182 to 150.
His item cycling, man, is so good.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not even about setting up a trap at one of his items. The problem is, you know, GEKKO will have absolutely nothing, but if he tries to set up a trap, he's going to get absolutely destroyed. So, I mean, I haven't played this map enough to really know like, what you can do in this situation. It feels like you just have to nail railguns, but against a player like Seven,
it's quite nice. GEKKO, he managed to steal one item here, a red it was, and it was all because of one fight. He basically invested a death into delaying Seven on one side of the map so that he couldn't possibly get the red. Whether he planned it or not, I don't know, but it did allow for him to kind of disrupt that cycle. Even though Seven does get the next red, it gives GEKKO opportunities. However, Seven just wearing away at his stack with those rails.
Yeah, and it's those railguns that GEKKO really needs to hit if he wants to give himself an opening. This is going to be a mega health going to Seven, surely. A nice rocket. Actually, just going to leave it on their spot, try and bait GEKKO out for additional LG damage. Finally, we'll pick it up. GEKKO with the yellow armor. Again, just has nothing. And again, these railguns GEKKO needs to hit.
And here you have Seven. Still keeping it real. Catching GEKKO at that upper yellow.
Oh, that's nice.
Very good. They're punishing a slight movement error from Seven. Sometimes a slight movement error will go amiss. Sometimes it will cost you almost all your stack. And luckily for GEKKO, that was the case for Seven right there. So he still has a very good grasp of when items are spawning, but so does GEKKO. And there you go. Able to take the mega finally. This is a big opportunity now for GEKKO. He can actually turn it all around here by doing more or less what Seven was doing. And if Seven gets a little bit too cocky, if Seven isn't cautious enough, then he may well just give GEKKO the frags that he wants.
Seven got a really good spawn on the red. I think GEKKO was delaying it, maybe. Stole away the red, stole away the upper yellow. So even though that you do have that slight health advantage, the armor's going to be stripped away instantly in this fight if he hits the rocket. Oh, lucky to pick up the red armor just before the rocket hit. Actually, I think saved him in that situation. And he's going to drop down. Seven, I mean, look at that lining gun. Really, it is so painful.
Very nice indeed. Electrifying right there. As Seven does catch another frag, 6-1. So GEKKO's return perhaps to prominence in this sinister match. Basically, very short-lived. And he's going to try to hit some rails, but there's not much he can really accomplish. He cannot stay in vision of Seven for more than a few seconds, well, a second at most. That is a long time in Quake. But if he does, he hasn't got the stack to basically take the damage that Seven is going to put onto him. So it's really a case where he's got to take things slow. Goes for the push though, and he gets a really nice opening bit of damage. But look at this, Seven. It looks as if nothing ever even happened according to his stack. And that's the story we're seeing once more.
I mean, just even in that fight, I'm pretty sure GEKKO had more lightning gun than he was letting on there. Switched out to the rocket, but Seven missed the railgun. He had plenty of time to hit a good 2-second burst of lightning gun for free, but instead chose to switch to the rocket, missed the rocket, and that just quickly switched things back into Seven's favor. I just think he's not. It sounds strange to hear. I mean, some people would maybe disagree that Quake is an aim-based game. It's a lot about the chess mentality, but the thing is, back in OSP. If you didn't hit all your shots, it wasn't the end of the world because it was so difficult to hit online with 60, 70 ping. Nowadays, everyone hits such ridiculous accuracies that when you get players like Seven, if you can't get anywhere near that, you're just going to get punished so hard. You have to be confident.
Definitely, and Seven is not sweating at all. There's only 2 minutes left, and he's built himself up an 8-frag lead. Make that 9 frags as GEKKO struggles. And GEKKO, more or less, I would say, just... It may be difficult to do this, and you're really living. You're basically putting the game down to 1 or 2 fights if you do it this way. But I think he was in a position when he's 3, 4, or 5 frags down, where he should have basically just played it way more defensively and just said, okay, let's try to get the yellows. Let's try to play with the awareness. Try to stay out of Seven's way. Try to sneak away a yellow. Try to delay him here and allow that to leave up an item for me elsewhere on the map, so I can start getting that stack up to 150, 200 armor maybe, then go for a play. And again, it takes a long time, and it's quite hard to do that, but it's a lot better than playing against a very executionally strong player and playing against him for damage when you have a way less stack.
Yeah, 14-1 now. I mean, aside from this game, what's your thoughts on Seven's form? I mean, he obviously looks great against GEKKO. Do you fancy his chances maybe getting to the final, taking out Cypher? Do you think he could do it?
Yeah, I think he can do it. This game was a very standard game in many senses. There wasn't much to really, I think, tell us much about how Sev3n's playing right now, because he got a really good start, and he basically, like, you made the point, I think, a couple of times. He didn't really care about items. He was just, sorry, he didn't care rather about the frags. He just took every single item, just cycling the items. It was almost as if, you know, there wasn't an opponent on the server with him. He was just, you know, taking the items. Oh, you know, if there's someone appears, then he shoots them a bit, but, you know, just taking the items. And so it was a very standard, easy advantage for him to exploit. And against a good player, he's going to be tested in so many other ways that we have yet to see how he's going to fare in the crisis management situations. So there you go, 15-3 though, and Sev3n's going to go through, knocking out GEKKO very, very easily.
Yeah, really, no trouble at all. But again, maybe it could have been a map then, because on other maps, I feel like cycling that control can be a lot more difficult. It's a lot easier to set up traps, hit rockets. The angles on that map, I mean, GEKKO just wasn't hitting his railguns, and rocket launches on that map onto certain items, apart from the lower yellow and mega health, it's very difficult. It seems all about the railgun, and yeah, GEKKO's rail just wasn't connecting, unfortunately.
Certainly. So time for another break, guys. We'll be back here live on FACEIT TV with more Quake action. So stay tuned.